By the concession stand.
It is a beautiful soccer Sunday here in the capital city. A huge 3 points on the line between these two clubs. It's 1927 Fort Wayne Sport Club taking on Lansing Common here in Michigan's capital city. Good evening, everybody, or good afternoon, I should say. It's a crisp day here in Lansing. Cameron McLaren joined alongside a freshly revamped person, I should say. He's been camping, I guess, in the past few days. Josh Pugh, again, in the broadcast for everybody back at home who's wondering. Josh, this is a huge matchup. Lansing Common, their title hopes extinguished on Friday night, but these 3 points are very important for the team in white.
dare I say, a historic afternoon at Eastern Stadium, Cam, as 1927 comes in here for the second time in Lansing Common history. A whole lot more meaningful than the first time, as that first game 2 years ago was a meaningless friendly between the two sides. 1927, a very different looking side on that afternoon, the first ever match in Lansing Common history. Today, as you said, incredibly meaningful. 1927 would be eliminated from title contention. They are chasing bearings. They really need all 3 points today. A draw would do fine. A loss ends their season effectively today.
It is the second time these two teams will play each other. The first ever game for Lansing Common was against this similar side, Fort Wayne Sport Club, a 3-1 win for the Robins. Fort Wayne has since rebranded to 1927 SC, a sleek rebrand for the people in Indiana. As we take a look at tonight's starting lineups, we'll start with the visitors from Fort Wayne. It'll be their goalkeeper, Pedro Morera, Jose Rodriguez, along with Zach Tom, Matt Perry, Keaton Albert, Garrett Kaflecker, Cooper Foshi, Max Amayoko, Igor Barbieri, Michael Saldana, and Casey Zimmerman. And we'll switch over to the home side in Lansing Common, as it'll be a different lineup for the Robins today. A few starters that have been changed since the team sheets were put in. No Brandon Dixon in the starting lineup. He could not give it a go in the warm-up, so instead Fedi Omar slots in alongside Seth Russ, the two at the top. In the midfield, Luke Kalovitz, Jack Beck, Jack Voigt, and Munir Shirali. Shirali getting his start after coming on as a substitute in the past few matches. Hungerford, Decore, Payne, and Antcliffe, the four defenders. Decore making his first start as a Robin, and in between the sticks, Holden Clark, who comes in after Spiegel's efforts on Friday. Josh, what do you like about this Lansing Common roster? There's no Mark Wishmeyer, there's no Ben Derby, and there's also no Brandon Dixon. What surprises you and sticks out for this club in red?
Well, I don't know about surprises, Cam. We knew that we were going to see a lot of rotation this weekend with a Friday-Sunday. That is a rare quirk of scheduling for Lansing Common, but one that, with the amount of weeks that we have and the amount of games that we've got to get in, happens reasonably often. As the two teams apparently have been asked to switch sides by the referees. And so we knew we were going to see a little bit of rotation. Obviously, unfortunate to have Brandon Dixon out of the starting lineup with a late scratch as he was working with the PT just before the match. Another unfortunate absence today is Ben Derby on a suspension with a little bit of a questionable red card on Friday night. Other than that, you see a typical amount of rotation for a quick 48-hour turnaround, as well as some difficult air quality this afternoon in Lansing that is going to see us taking at least one water break in each half. So be prepared for that as we get started here in just a few minutes.
A crisp 79 degrees here at kickoff. As we said earlier in the season, this pitch being a turf pitch, a lot of heat gets absorbed by the field. It'll feel as though it's almost 90 degrees pitch side. As you said, the two teams lining up. We're waiting for the referee's whistles. It'll be the visitors to start us off here. A crucial 3 points on the line. 1927 needs a win to keep their title hopes alive as we are underway from Michigan's capital city.
Fort Wayne going to run out in a 4-3-3, and Lansing coming with their typical high press. A lot of pressure, a lot of energy, despite, as we said, that tight turnaround and some difficult air quality, maybe making things tough on the boys this afternoon. Couldn't just have normal weather for a home game, could we, Cam? 79 degrees is too nice. We had to add in a little bit of fine particulate matter from the Canadian wildfires.
Some Canadian redwood in the air, little spruce, little birch. As the Robins, in a new formation for them, the 4-4-2 they've lined up in, and almost getting a piece of that one was Amayoko, and instead results in a throw-in for the Robins. Antcliffe thought it was. Instead, it results actually in a throw-in for 1927.
I think everybody on the field thought it was.
We sent in for Amayoko. Trying to work around Antcliffe. He did just enough to usher his man off the ball. Now Keaton Albert. Fort Wayne looking dangerous in the early going. Amayoko looking for back post. Sneaks by everybody, including the head of Tierno Decore. And out for a goal kick. Take a look at Teo Decore making his first start for the Robins. Debuted in the first matchup against Futsal Factory. A foul there committed on Shirali. Free kick for the Robins. Native of Malakunda, Senegal, a Northwood University product as well. Just a few players on the Robins that go to that university.
Yeah, Decore has been provided a lot of quality in training, as well as the minutes that he's given the Robins on the field this year. More of a traditional midfielder, but has been strong at the center back position when necessary in training, as he lets an uncharacteristic ball slip by. Did play in the midfield, as you said, against Futsal Factory, but hasn't been available for all of the Lansing Commons matches this year.
Now forward for Max Amayoko. That is a wonderful strike from the young man. Amayoko finds the space, unleashes the right foot. It goes past Holden Clark. The first test that he's seen is its early goings for Fort Wayne as they take the early 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Clarkey really had no chance there, as Aiden kind of let that one slide by. Uncharacteristic mistake from him out of the right back position. But you know that Fort Wayne is going to continue to test the fullbacks on the left and the right throughout this game. So hope they can tighten that up, or it's going to be a long afternoon.
As Fort Wayne, they need a full 3 points here today to keep their season alive. 1 point will also do them some slight justice. A loss, we'll see West Michigan Bearings, who were here on Friday night, be crowned the West Division winners. Free kick given up by the Robins as Amayoko's third-minute strike has tilted the results in favor of the visitors. It's a completely different side, as we were saying earlier, than the team that showed up 3 years ago. Was a few Robins that were on that 2021 squad are playing today. Munir Shirali, one of them.
They brought 16 guys today as well, Cam, which is 7 more than we saw in 2021.
Barbieri off the boot of Payne is the center back, and a little bit of displeasure with the rest of his defenders. As you said, they only showed up with 9 men that day. In the first ever matchup for Lansing Common, 2 players, and Nick Robinson and Isabayo Smith were forced to play for Fort Wayne. As ensuing corner won't beat Hungerford, instead knocked back outside the 18.
Left nothing to chance today, though, Cam, as they showed up with the bulk of their squad in a 15-passenger van up from Fort Wayne.
Nice 2-hour drive for the visitors, barring some traffic on the south side of the state, especially if they hit Adrian College. A lot of traffic in Lower Michigan, as it's quintessential for every Midwestern state to have traffic cones, especially in the summer.
Nice bit of work by Mooney to cross up the defense there as they're trying to get back, beat the Lansing counter.
Here they come the other way, along the far side. Looking interior, off the back of Shirali, may have touched the line. Instead, the goalkeeper, Morera, able to make the save. As you said, Shirali doing just enough to slicey-dicey his way through the midfield. First grade A opportunity for the Robins goes begging.
Saucy header, too. A little surprised that keeper showing a little bit more ups than I was expecting, but able to get to it no problem.
Decore.
Whew.
Silky pass to Jack Beck.
Great jump to steal the ball there, too.
Decore just making his 5th appearance for the Robins, his first start after the suspension to the double yellow card for Ben Derby. And upon further review, it's this commentator's purview that Derby was lucky to only escape with just the second yellow. Any more malicious intent on his challenge in the 82nd minute on Friday night could have resulted in a straight red. It's Seth Russ. Wonderful to get around the first man. Still Russ. Deflected back out for Omar. Voigt taken down right outside the 18. That's a dangerous free kick now for the Robins as Voigt saw that his teammate was in trouble, came to his support, and instead got fouled about 24 yards away from goal.
Saw a lot of that on Friday too, Cam. Just a little bit of out of control defending, just 20 yards away from their own goal by the visitors.
No doubt shooting territory for Munir Shirali and Jack Beck.
As you said, Cam, Mark Wishmeyer out of the lineup today. As I said, no injuries there, no concerns long-term or anything like that. Just taking a well-deserved break after a lot of minutes this year and the 48-hour back-to-back.
Shirali! What a strike! Munir Shirali's second free kick goal. He scored one against United West earlier this season, and that was a lovely finish.
The keeper complaining to the ref is the only chance he has to stop that one. Just beaten from the moment it left Mooney's foot.
Shirali's third goal this season. Now his 7th all-time for the Robins. He's getting up there in all-time goals, as he's already the Robins leader in all-time minutes played, as he's leveled things here at 1 apiece. It's Lansing Common 1, 1927 Sport Club 1. Kalovitz committed a foul, referee played advantage, and now brought back for that free kick.
Was talking to Brent Sorg about this side before the game. He said one of the games he scouted them for was a 3-2 loss to Troy United. And his biggest takeaway, other than
brought through their number 9, looking for it was Barbieri. It's sent out for a corner.
Other than individual prowess, which number 9 was one of the performers that Brent Sorg shouted out, he said it was a wide open game, and we have certainly seen that 9 minutes in, 1-1 here at Eastern Stadium.
Corner whipped in, back post, Payne there first for the Robins. Now sent along the byline. And out for another corner as Zach Tom did just enough to shield Jack Beck away from the ball.
KP seems to have a little bit of a cheering section here about 6 feet below us, Cam.
Ensuing corner, looking back post off the head of Kalovitz, back out once again. The third corner in quick succession for the visitors. And as you said, the crowd has flocked towards the shade that's given by the press box here. No doubt some people on the outskirts getting their tan on. Corner whipped in, looking back post. Still alive in the mix. Able to clear it momentarily was Voigt. He'll hoof it up the near side. Now Keaton Albert. It's Fort Wayne looking to break the press of Lansing Common. Instead go back to Morera. Far wing Flicker. Lansing Common, who's division title hopes were extinguished on Friday night. That 2-2 draw not enough to keep them in the running, as West Michigan, their season has finished. They can only have 27 points, or 26 I should say, as Fort Wayne is the only team left in the runnings on the west side to challenge the Bearings. And as it stands, it would go down to the final day if these results hold. A draw means that Fort Wayne will have to win their last game against United West. They have the tiebreaker over West Michigan, as if Fort Wayne gets a draw here today, they have to win. They'll be tied on points. The offside flag goes up, as Kalovitz couldn't hold his run in time. As we approach the tail end of the first quarter of an hour. And after Amayoko opened the scoring just 3 minutes in, a perfect free kick goal from Munir Shirali, his third of the year, has knotted things at 1. Played forward for Casey Zimmerman. Unable to get around Payne, committed a foul in the process. It results in a Lansing free kick.
I was, as I said, talking to Brent Sorg before the game, Cam, and just remarking on the fact that for Lansing, across club history, and true as well today, as we've played 10 matches and sitting on 20 points, and have played about at that pace through 2021, 2022, and now 2023. Typically, 2 points per league match is a torrid pace, enough to win championships. But every year, and every year it's a different club, there's one club that's just a little bit better. And West Michigan maybe wasn't that on Friday, but certainly has been that across the arc of this season, unfortunately.
West Michigan, who came in on Friday night with 2 consecutive wins, including a forfeit win over Cedars due to poor air quality, gifted 3 points, and then a 3-0 win over United West, whose season was over early. And they've suffered a lot of lopsided defeats.
And United West, Cam, interestingly, we should not count them out or downplay the quality of that side next year if they return to the Midwest Premier League. That is a side that actually has their A team in the UPSL, puts their B team in the Midwest Premier League, the opposite of what sides like Cedars and what Inter Detroit do. And so they've got quality in that organization. They just choose not to display it in the Midwest Premier League. And so we will see, but I would expect that United West will present a tougher challenge in the Midwest Premier League next year.
Now for Amayoko, played near side. Barbieri couldn't hold the run. Instead, the offside given.
Wasn't even trying to hold the run. It was a clever run, but a little too cute by half there. It's a dangerous striker they've got, though, no question.
As Fort Wayne was being scouted this week, as you said, Coach Brett Sorg eyeing that number 9 and Matt Barbieri. Now for Aiden Antcliffe. Antcliffe, who's been solid this season, now 10 straight starts for the young man. Played forward looking for Russ. Morera got clocked by his own man, made the punch out.
Unlucky by the Robins to not have somebody there on the other end of that. Usually that's the way the spacing would shake out. Nobody home, unfortunately, so couldn't take advantage of the lapse by the Fort Wayne keeper.
Russ unable to corral that ball in the middle of the park. It's now to Jose Rodriguez.
Jeez.
Foul committed by Decore.
Oh.
That's a quick yellow card, and that's not something that Brent Sorg's going to want is his center back with a yellow card within the first 20 minutes.
I don't know about that call, Cam.
Decore shown the caution at the 17-minute mark. And that rotation, as you said, that you were speculating that Brent Sorg would have after the quick 2 games in 3 days turnaround, may have to be on display. Amayoko deflected off of the right leg of Payne and out for a corner.
Yeah, certainly you expect rotation in a Friday, Sunday turnaround like this. What you don't expect is a double yellow and suspension to Ben Derby, who has been really, really fine holding it down at that center back position most of the year for Lansing Common.
The corner played short. Seth Russ couldn't deal with it. It's now out to Max Amayoko. Dispossessed there by Jack Beck as Robbins can get it out of harm's way.
Great fight defensively from Seth there at the top of his own box.
Now for Matt Perry, forced to play it back to Saldana. Turned over to Kalovitz, couldn't thread the needle to Shirali, who was making his run along the far side.
Unlucky touch by Luke there.
Turned over now
bad
to
touch
Seth
by
Russ.
Fort Wayne.
Russ, now for Shirali on the wing.
All kinds of bodies in the box for Lansing.
Still Shirali, looking back for Voigt. Up top for Beck.
Somebody got to shoot here.
Now Antcliffe tried to go top corner, caught between a shot and a pass. It sails well wide of the net. Now for a goal kick. Nonetheless, good opportunity for the Robins.
Certainly was, and the kind of opportunity that gave the boys a little energy, and you're seeing it in the renewed pressure defensively.
Out for Decore, who's looked good in his small instances.
I was just going to say the same, Cam, that T has really brought a lot to sort of a midfielder zhuzh to his center back role today. Unfortunately, I was just about to say that as he committed an unfortunate foul and was shown a yellow card. But really, that lapse aside, have been impressed by the young man, showing some versatility and some defensive ability, pressed into service.
So this one's sent out for a throw-in for Fort Wayne, as Decore has, as you said, he's an interesting character that was put into this squad. He's got a lot of fight to him. Very gritty player. He's one that should be watched out for at Northwood. Decore in his small instances has shown life, including his one shot in his debut against Futsal Factory that just went awry. He did everything right on that play, just couldn't get the finish, as it's now brought forward looking for Foshi, instead picked off by the Robins.
Be having a very different conversation right now if he had connected with the game-winning goal against Futsal Factory that day. Fans of the Premier League who might be hearing echoes of a familiar name might recognize young Tierno's uncle, plays for Everton. I'm not even going to attempt pronouncing his first name.
Abdoulaye?
That's why you're the boss, man.
Abdoulaye Decore. With 5 goals and 2 assists this season for the Toffees in 25 matches. As that ball played in, looking for the head of Voigt. Will escape to the far side, and I believe Decore even had a game-winning goal for Everton that gave him a vital 3 points to stay in the Premier League.
As I recall, I believe he had a late one against my Wolves that was a lot more meaningful for Evertonians than it was for the Wolves at that point in the season. But certainly, obviously, a lot of quality, and see flashes of his play, and in the quality shown by young Dierno for Northwood and for Lansing Common this summer.
And this is going to be a straight yellow card, no doubt about it. For Keaton Albert, he held up. Fedi Omar did everything but tackle the young man. So it's now 2 yellow cards shown to a center back today. The referee wasting no time to show the cheddar.
I can think of another Midwest Premier League ref who would have called that a straight red for a denial of a clear goal scoring opportunity, but not here, not today.
Well, you won't see that ref for the rest of the season, barring any unforeseen circumstances or broken down cars or cases of some summer sickness.
A little ref talk. That's why the people tune in, right, Cam?
Always.
I would have been giving it some more ref talk than the always professional Cameron McLaren did if I had been in the booth on Friday night. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, upon further review and after some emotions had settled down, I rewatched it, and I will give the center official some grace. Not a lot, though.
He did apparently apologize to someone. I don't know who, whether it was Coach Brent Sorg or one of our players.
Tell you it wasn't me.
For not giving advantage in that late counterattack when he called the foul on the Bearings defender there. Oh boy, he was onside there.
Amayoko.
Another lapse from Aiden.
Shout out by Antcliffe. Still Max Amayoko. A foul committed by Klefiker.
Well done by Antcliffe to win the ball back and draw the foul.
Gets a slap on the back from Kevin Payne, who has now reached the 2,000 minutes played mark just a few minutes ago.
That's right. We did say it would be a historic match, and KP has crossed a historic milestone as he is, I believe, second all-time in minutes played for Lansing Common FC, as he has been a stalwart, playing nearly every minute of league play last year, and has continued to be the foundation of another tough defense for the Robins this year.
Looking forward for Barbieri. Working around 2 Lansing defenders. Fell down in the process. Decore now up for Hungerford in possession.
I think the Fort Wayne players are wondering when the last time they saw a center back move like that with the ball was. Who is that guy? And why is his name so familiar?
And as I was corrected.
Whew, nice ball by Jack.
As Tierno Decore's uncle was the main reason that Everton stayed up. A 57th minute goal against Bournemouth on the final day.
There you go. Yep, the
kept
cherries.
Everton's Premier League hopes alive, as the Toffees have been battling that relegation battle for the past 3 years. And that's all I will say about Everton. There's some contentiousness with the club and the club's ownership, and that's well above my pay grade here as a 4th division soccer announcer in Michigan.
Kevin Payne maybe got away with one there. A little bit of a push off at midfield, but that's why he's Kevin Payne and I'm up here.
Kevin House of Payne, as they call him in the supporter section. Klefiker. This Fort Wayne side that traveled surprisingly heavier today with a plethora of 5 substitutes.
No question. Probably drawing fewer viewers today on the live stream because Fort Wayne traveled really well. Better than a lot of Michigan sides who come from a shorter distance. And you can hear the difference in support up in the booth. No question.
That is an
excellent slide by Kevin
tackle
Payne.
by Payne to send it out for a throw-in.
He doesn't do a lot of that in games because, obvious reasons. The ref sees a big man moving that fast and that hard. The fouls and the cards can come out quick, but he is expert level at the use of the clean tackle.
Out for Saldana, his shot blocked. Return feed, another block there by Decore. Robins, trouble dealing with it in their own end. Out for Decore. Back for Jack Beck.
Decore fortunate to have that negative ball deflected right to Jack Beck. If that had not been deflected, that was not going anywhere good.
Here comes Kalovitz now on the break. Played back out for Hungerford. Has bodies in the box. Still Hungerford along the wing. Hungerford, the strike. Able to get there first was Rodriguez. Took the sting out of it as it rolled in on Morera.
Fort Wayne playing like a team that's watched some tape on Lansing Common. Certainly a little surprised they appear to be by the versatility on display as Luke Kalovitz and Landon Hungerford switched up there, bought themselves some space. But that keeper's been working extra hard to not give up any corners, as we know this Robins side has been lethal on set pieces since 2021. And in fact, earned our goal off a set piece today.
Rodriguez.
Fetty a little sloppy there to leave his feet.
Now for Matt Perry. Not Matthew Perry, Matt Perry. There's a difference.
Very high name quality. A lot of syllables, a lot of interesting names on this Fort Wayne side relative to most of the teams that have come into Eastern Stadium this year.
So we will now get that aforementioned hydration break as we hit the 28th minute mark. So both teams will get some high quality H2O.
That's right. Award-winning municipal water brought to you by the Lansing Board of Water and Light. Not a joke, folks.
Which also brings up...
Lansing's water has won taste competitions across the country.
And Lansing, I still believe, is one, if not the only city or one of the only cities that does not have lead piping anymore.
That's right. And it's certainly not the only one, but certainly the first and most innovative to replace a lot of those pipes at no cost to customers.
There's Kevin Payne getting a salute from the home faithful after his accomplishments announced by our PA announcer, Matt Charteau. Just a refresher for those tuning in who may have been a little late. It was Max Ameoko whose third-minute strike opened the scoring here in mid-Michigan. Lovely right-footed strike that beat Holden Clark along the far post. And just a few minutes later, the 7-minute mark, Munir Shirali from 22 yards outside the box picked the corner again. It's his second free kick goal this season in almost an identical spot from his spot kick goal against United West. Has leveled things at one apiece. As it stands, the Great Lakes West Division title race will come down to the final day. Fort Wayne, with 6 points remaining to grab, including 3 here today in mid-Michigan. If they were to get a draw here as things stand, it would come down to that game against United West next Sunday to see who will have the opportunity to play for the Great Lakes Conference Trophy here at Eastern Stadium on July 29th.
That's right, Cam. And Fort Wayne, 4 points back of Bearings, just needs 4 points from their final 2 games. They've got the first tiebreaker in hand as they defeated Bearings in their only head-to-head matchup this season. As you said, 13 days from today, regardless of who's playing in it, it won't be Lansing Common. But the champion of the East and the champion of the West will meet here at Eastern Stadium.
Still 3 possible opponents on the Great Lakes East Division. Liquid Football, Inter Detroit, and Thundercats SC. All in the runnings on that side of the table. Brought forward for Perry. Inside, couldn't get enough on the shot as it rolls in on Clark. And another lapse of concentration for the back 4 for Lansing Common.
Don't know about the decision on that shot. Looked like me playing FIFA out there. Did well to get it on frame, though. Goodness.
Spam O. Always spam O.
I think that's what the young man was doing.
He must have had time finishing on it. cut back there for Antcliffe. Now back to Kevin Payne. Payne, who scored his second goal as a Robin on Friday night to level the scoring at 1 apiece.
Yeah, he's really found a new dimension of his game on these set pieces, Cam. He's had a half dozen assists off corners last year, as he would typically boom it back across the box over to a waiting Gershom Sylvain. This year, he's decided to dispense with the assists and just bang it in himself. He's got a couple goals off of corners this year.
2 of them off the head of Kevin Payne. He's starting to look like Julian Burge out there with being labeled a ball magnet.
There is only one Julian Burge, that's for sure.
He is on the team sheet today. There could be an appearance for the longtime captain.
It wouldn't surprise me, especially, as we said, with the heavy rotation, but also just a side like this, 1927 SC, it got a lot of quality. Sometimes that crafty veteran leadership is exactly what the squad needs, as we're going to have to wait and see what Brent Sorg's got in store for us when it comes to substitutions. Expect probably at least 1 out of halftime, and then maybe 1 or 2 more around the 60th minute.
That seems to be the playlist that runs through Coach Brent Sorg's mind. Always a halftime and a 60th minute substitution. Rust lays it right in on Morera. Won't trouble the netminder.
Thought he could take him by surprise. I think the keeper maybe didn't see it there until late. Fortunate that he was guarding his near post.
Kleffiker. Shadowed there by Fedi Omar. Instead turned over to Shirali in the middle of the park. Shirali back to Beck. 1-2 up for Russ. Trying to get around the defender. Sent up Antcliffe. Tried to get there first.
Fantastic run, but unable to control it and keep it in. As Fort Wayne trying to argue that it wasn't off them, to no avail with the referee.
Last touch off Barbieri. Robbins will play it quickly. Now for Hungerford along the far side. He's another staple on this back line for the Robins. He's played and started in every game this season. Now over for Max Amayoko. In the middle of the park, Rodriguez looking for Amayoko. Still Max Amayoko. The left foot. Straight in on Clark.
Holden just playing very well in position. That was about the only thing, the only angle that he had on frame from there. And Clark did very well to line that up and grab it out of the air.
Clark, who's making his 4th start for the Robins. It's a 3-0-1 record in his now 5 appearances for the club this season. Lovely dummy there by Omar. Now up for Seth Russ. Flick back by Voigt. That one
just a little too much sauce on that.
Finds its way to Fort Wayne's Keaton Albert. Now back in Lansing possession with Holden Clark. He's also got 1 clean sheet to his name this season. A 2-0 win over Jags as this ball played forward for Russ. Doing just enough.
Very nice challenge there. As Decore finds himself way out of position on the other side, able to get back no problem.
Decore, a listed midfielder, playing in that center back role due to the suspension to Ben Derby. Now Max Amayoko. Looking interior for Perry. That ball intercepted by the Robins. Turned back over to Rodriguez. Up for Saldana. Tipped over the bar by Clark. A lovely long-range effort from Saldana. Able to get a fingertip on it was Clark.
Great save from Holden, who is not as tall as some of the other keepers that he's shared time with, both Sam Spiegel and Ethan Brandt last year, but is every bit an athlete. Able to react very quickly, and with the right save there, push it over.
Played short to Zach Tom. Now for Igor Barbieri. In the box, tried to play it into the mix, instead off of the foot of Hungerford and out for another corner.
I think a couple different things are going on out there, Cam. You can see the chemistry and just the brotherhood among these Lansing Common players playing together very well on and off the ball. At the same time, some tired legs start to show up, whether that's the air quality, end of a long season, or the back end of a Friday-Sunday doubleheader. Certainly, you're going to see some subs.
Played in quickly. That ball dispelled by Hungerford. Back out to Saldana. Whistled well over the bar. Another goal kick now for the Robins. It's the air quality, a brisk 91, not too bad, but sensitive for some groups.
Yeah, and I think we've got some something weird going on there, Cam. The federal government site is saying data not available. I think it might be a little worse than that. At least that's the way it feels to my lungs. I'm no expert, and I'm certainly no scientist or mathematician, though.
I was trying to think of a funny comeback for that. I just couldn't.
You know, you could say I was told there would be no math, except there's table math on almost every single one of these broadcasts, so.
Always table math.
Tiebreakers abound when Lansing Common's involved.
Tiebreakers, numbers, all part of Big J journalism. Now it's Jack Foyt, another one of the J's. Foyt in on goal, sent back and cleared off the line by Kleffiker, sent out for Lansing corner.
It is always a joy to get to see Jack Voigt really open it up in a straight line like that. He doesn't do it often, and because he doesn't need to, because he's such a smart player and always finds himself in the right position. But when it happens, you can see the eyes widen on the defenders.
Voigt's 8 goals sees him in sole possession of second place in all-time goal scoring. Just one behind the infamous Shetty Omar, who's 9 goals in Lansing's maiden season. See him atop the list in all-time and single-season scoring. He'll be back to deliver the set piece. Strike back, Russ couldn't corral it down as it rolls out for a goal kick as we hit the final 5 minutes before stoppage time.
Unfortunate that Jack put just a little bit too much air under that one. Made it really difficult on Seth Russ, but not as difficult as Fort Wayne has made it on themselves with a goal kick straight out of bounds. Quick turnover.
Russ looking forward for Omar, rolled back in on Morera, who will just have to shake off that last little gaff from him.
Oh, does he have another one in him?
Something about goalkeeping errors and Eastern Stadium. Russ trying to get past Kleffiker, Albert, and sent out for a throw.
Another turnover by 1927. Robin's going to go a little bit slower on this one. Right in front of the TV cameras down there on the south end of the stadium.
Played out for Ancliffe, looking interior, had Raleigh off the head of Foshi and back out to the halfway line for Tierno Decore. Kalovitz played it through his body, tried to find Hungerford, instead reclaims possession. Trying to work around Zach Tom, sent back post. Voigt headed back in the mix, nobody there in red. Danger still there, Hungerford couldn't bring it down, instead Saldana will send it back out of harm's play.
Gonna have to ask Luke in the post game if he was playing the wind there, because on a normal day that would have been well too far. The breeze blew it back down to a waiting Landon Hungerford.
Omar passed too far in front of Kalovitz. It's in the middle of the park. Jack Beck trying to run off that last challenge. Appears to be in some discomfort. We'll check that as we approach the 45th minute mark. Max Emayoko couldn't get through Payne. Instead, he takes down Emayoko. It's going to be a free kick for the visitors. As Max Emayoko still down after that latest challenge from Kevin Payne.
The home side's physical therapist from Peak Performance looks to be stretching, trying to decide if his services are going to be necessary. They're about the 35 yards out from goal, and it looks like he's okay. Imagine that.
The physical therapist deploying one of the rules from Zombieland, always limber up. I may not be good at my job, but I am very good at movie references. As this one lined up by Rodriguez, played into the mix. Emayoko, a foul inside the box. Albert taking down Antcliffe. Results in a free kick for the home side.
Referee decisive with that. The saucy free kick could not even connect with its intended target before the foul was given.
Would have been a dangerous opportunity for Max Emayoko, who would have been off the floor and on the board at that point. Unable to keep that one in was Hungerford.
We do appreciate when an injured player is able to make a full recovery, but we're going to ask questions when those recoveries appear a bit miraculous.
If you're interested in showing off your skills, come on down to the field at halftime and find anyone in an orange shirt.
Shirali, who was taken down after that knock. No foul, says the referee. We play on. Here comes Fort Wayne now the other way. They've got numbers. Here on the counter, Rodriguez. Back out to the lone goal scorer in Emayoko. Trying to work around Antcliffe. Back out, Rodriguez. That shot dispelled by Payne. Deflect up. Kalovitz in a foot race. He'll win out. Here's Luke Kalovitz, still with it. Played in, cleared out by Kleffiker.
An incredible counter off of a Kevin Payne block for Lansing Common. My goodness. Luke Kalovitz and Jack Voigt have both displayed their speed today, and Kalovitz almost makes him pay there.
And for Lansing Common, that's going to displease head coach Brent Sorg, who's not been too happy with his side's playmaking abilities in the past few games, including on Friday night. A lot more passes. It's something he knows all too well this season. His chances have piled up for the Robins. They just haven't been able to put them away. Middle of the park for Jack Beck. And Beck may have rolled something there as he hits the deck once again. Decore couldn't play it. Here comes Zach Tom. One-on-one with the keeper. Goes off of the foot of Antcliffe and in the back of the net. Payne is in a heap of emotions with the center official. Nonetheless, it's a Fort Wayne goal as we've hit stoppage time in the first half. This is now Fort Wayne Sport Club 2, Lansing Common 1.
I thought I saw an elbow to Jack Beck that ignited that attack. Not sure what Kevin Payne is arguing, but I don't know that I've ever seen him that out of sorts, especially not with an official.
As we await the official scoring on it and the notification from the fourth official on the at least 1 minute of stoppage time we will see here after the now 3 goals in this first half. The Robins looking to play quickly. So we are into stoppage time here at the end of the first 45. Hungerford along the wing. Looking near side for Russ. Played back into the mix. Omar cut down. Voigt!
What a crack from Jack Voigt.
When you're in the
Goodness
right
gracious.
place at the right time, good things happen. As Jack Voigt, a thunderous strike from inside the 6,
Incredible work from Seth Russ there, too, who set up that goal by connecting with the ball into the box that just went a little bit too far and just didn't try to do too much, didn't try to get it on frame, just said, let me lift this back across the box and see what happens. And Jack Voigt able to make them pay for their sloppiness defensively there.
And right before the death of halftime, it's Desmond Tutu.
And Lansing Common showing shades of 2022 Lansing Common, once again with a Jack Voigt goal, but also a quick strike back when it was very necessary.
Now for Barbieri. Dispossessed there by Decore. Barbieri and back entangled. This is going to ignite some flames here as Barbieri goes down.
On the ground, and
Beck is also going to get a talking to as well.
Attempted to tackle Jack Beck, who tripped him up through no fault of his own, but the ref's got to get control of this game before things get any worse here.
We've received word there will be a minimum of 3 minutes as we've now hit the 3rd minute of the initial allotted time. Barbieri is shown a yellow for his antics on the play.
Well earned.
And the card stays out for the center official, as Jack Beck will get one as well. He's the referee trying to get a handle on this game. He's getting some words not of encouragement from Seth Russ after that one. Beck, who just walks away from it.
I have never seen a yellow card given to a player who was on his back on the ground.
May have been for the antics. Brent Sorg's going to want to have a chat with the near side 4th official.
The 4th official wants no part of Brent Sorg or an explanation.
As there is a yellow card issued to Brent Sorg as well, as he makes his way onto the score sheet. As we've already hit the minimum 3 minutes of added time, no doubt there will be at least another minute. The 4th official is still getting into it with the Lansing sideline. As Beck commits another foul. As we are setting ourselves up here for a final contentious 45 minutes in the capital city. Now Barbieri.
You know, it's not going to be the headline, and it's not the most important thing, Cam, but I don't know that I've ever seen a half with 4 goals and only 3 minutes of extra time given. That is something.
As we get the whistle here, that'll end the first half. It all started with Max Amayoko's goal, but since then, it's been a back and forth affair as Munir Shirali and Jack Voigt, the lone goal scorers for Lansing Common. We're deadlocked at 2 here after 45 with a contentious second 45 coming up next.
Once again, if you would like to show off your skills, head on down.
One half in the books. The second 45 here underway. And 3 crucial points on the line for both sides. This play getting started. The Robins, who made one change at halftime. It'll be Jack Lockerbie in. Making way for him was Fedi Omar, who subbed off after the first half after his third consecutive start. Or excuse me, second consecutive start. Now Barbieri. Taken down by Decore. Soft foul given up by the Senegalese defender. Be the first free kick for 1927, who also made one substitution at the break. Nick Harding in for Matt Perry, a like-for-like substitution in the midfield. And after a first half that saw 4 goals, 5 yellow cards, and this one whipped in, looking back post. This is the one hopper in on Clark. Plays it now quickly for Kalavitz. Kalavitz.
Luke with all kinds of space on the left side.
Looking far side for Voigt. Shadowed there by Harding. Voigt able to usher off the defender. He'll play it back to Shirali.
And Fort Wayne showing a little bit more of what they showed in the first half, which is to say when Lansing Common is well organized and runs directly at them, a little bit of disorganization and some lapses on the defensive side, like you just saw for 1927 SC. Just more sloppiness than you would expect for a side that's been pacing the rest of the Great Lakes West all summer long.
So yellow card shown to 1927's Zach Tom. He's also on the score sheet as well, has a goal for Fort Wayne. As Decore did enough to keep his man away from the ball, got taken down in the process, and an errant pass from him results in a Fort Wayne throw.
(1927) walks the ball forward about 5 yards before taking it.
As Kalavitz winds, fires that one deflected on its way through. And back out now for Nick Harding after that turnover. Looking forward for Ameoko. Way out of his box is Clark. And he'll send it out of play to dispel any danger as a plethora of substitutions on the Lansing sideline getting warmed up, including Julian Birch. Played in the middle of the park, Harding. Now for Saldana. Rodriguez. Barbieri. Decore read that one perfectly. Sent up for Russ. Got the 50-50. Just couldn't beat the man. Now played out for Nick Harding. As Fort Wayne, they need all 3 points. Or they would like to have all 3 points so it does not come down to that final day against United West, who could pull off a shocker. This one rolls out of play for Clark. Be a goal kick for the Robins. Clark, who's amassed already 20 saves in his first season in net, or at least the first season he has seen competitive league play. He was in net for that game in the NISA Independent Cup against Milwaukee Torrent. He'll play it out for Hungerford along the near side. Looking forward for Russ. Skip through him. Taken away by Fort Wayne. And another clumsy challenge given up by Decore, who now slots into a central defensive midfield role after the formation change for Brett Sorg. Samayoko dispossessed by Shirali. Up for Russ. Past the keeper. Seth Russ! A tap-in of dreamlike proportions as for the first time today, Lansing Common takes the lead. It's now Lansing Common 3, 1927-2.
And Cam, as we were just saying, a little bit of sloppiness, disorganization, frustration with each other on the defensive end for Fort Wayne as the keeper is still hectoring his back line, which is an interesting move when you've just come 25 yards out of your own net.
Seth Russ in his second season with Lansing Common, missed 2022 playing for Enter Detroit. He's now got 8 goals this season, which ties him for second in all-time scoring with fellow teammate Jack Voigt. He's just 1 goal away from tying the season, or the single season all-time goal scoring record set by Shetty Omar.
Not sure what this means for him in the Golden Boot race in the league. I know he was pacing the league with 6, but can't always rely on our sibling clubs to report out statistics, and so we will check on that, and you will be seeing something from us on social media this week. As Lansing Common continues to play with all kinds of energy and enthusiasm, and mostly stay on the front foot, I would say possession has certainly been tilted in favor of the Robins this afternoon.
As for the first time today, Fort Wayne playing from behind. A loss would mean their division title hopes extinguished, and it'll be West Michigan Bearings who will make the trip back to Lansing next week, or excuse me, 2 weeks from now, to play in the Great Lakes Conference Championship game. As the Midwest Premier League this season deciding a championship game would be necessary with the amount of teams. What better place to have it in Michigan's capital city? Now Amayoko. Dropped back for Tom. Played along the far wing for Harding. His shot well over the bar.
We jest about the superiority of our fine facility here at Eastern Stadium, Cam. But one thing I will say has been great to see this year is just some of these new clubs in the league have stepped up their game when it comes to the facilities on offer. Obviously, certainly the exception more than the rule, but had a great away day at the Holland Rovers. Actually had home and away locker rooms there, as well as a referee locker room. It can be easy to take it for granted since we've got such a beautiful facility here in Lansing, but not always the case when the Robins go on the road.
No, if they've played in a barn, they've played on a grass surface with no scoreboard, nor lights.
I was not in attendance for this one, but I think back to road trips in years past on an unmowed field with uneven lines.
I don't think I was at that match either.
I couldn't say if it was 21 or 22, but that would be the West Michigan Bearings. 2 different facilities, actually, over the last 2 years of road trips.
It would have to be the first year then. So we've played West Michigan at home the past 2 years, if I'm correct.
Couldn't tell you. I was in Mexico last year.
I think I was in Europe. The reference. Now Decore. After some witty decorum in the press box.
Perhaps a lack of decorum, but
Lack of decorum.
ooh, giveaway for the Robins, and it'll go back the other way as Fort Wayne looking to play quickly, get the counter on off the throw-in.
Barbieri looking for Amayoko. Flag stays down momentarily. Still Max Amayoko!
He was well offside by my eye.
A strong individual effort from Max Amayoko. He doubles his account and has leveled things at 3. It's now Lansing Common 3, 1927 Sport Club 3. And still shouts from Josh Rosendale on the near side, looking at the linesman to say, sir, do your job. He's got to be careful as there's been already one yellow card issued to the bench area as Brent Sorg, who's perched his way back on to the bench.
Yeah, I don't know what you say about that one, Cam.
Amayoko held his run in time. Antcliffe took a spillage. It'll be another foul given up by Harding.
I don't know what you say about that one either. Arms extended shove of Munir Shirali off the ball, and then quite a bit of dissent after that for Harding, who's on a quick yellow. Only been in the game 10 minutes, and no second yellow even hinted at.
And as we've received word from our production manager, who's looked back at the goal, he says that that run was just perfectly timed there by Ameyoko.
Boo. Who needs producer Scott?
Now Antcliffe. Deflected for Decore.
And, you know, Cam, that's something that we've talked about a little bit this year, being even if you think he's well off sides, you and I can complain about that all we want. But if you're a player on the field and the flag has not gone up, you got to give 100% until the whistle. That there looked to be a little bit of a some shrugs, some complaints, some arms thrown in the air. You just got to put your head down and play defense, because sometimes the call's not going to be made your way. Sometimes the call shouldn't be made your way, and you just gotta fight and gotta make sure that you're able to play to the whistle, play through the whistle.
So Ameyoko goes down after a contentious battle with Jack Beck, who also needs to be careful. He's one of the 4 players on the field who's got a yellow card, or excuse me, 5 now. After the recent card early in the second half given to Zach Tom.
Yeah, it's really it's been a little bit of a disappointing year on the table, certainly by Lansing Common standards, but also by the stat sheet. This is not a club that gives away a lot of fouls or cards, and the referees have just injected themselves in match after match after match, and not just against the Robins, but in favor of our boys too. Sometimes awarding some PKs and some cards that were a little bit questionable, and I don't know if the difference is in the play on the field or if the quality of refereeing has suffered, but it's shown on the score sheet, and it's just too bad because already less than 60 minutes into this one, you kind of have a feeling like it's not going to be the teams on the field that decide the outcome here. It's going to be the referees wearing black, unfortunately. And so we'll see. Hopefully that's not the case. And hopefully we're able to have this decided.
There's a shot. That one by Tom. Able to take the sting out of it was Clark.
Great save by Holdy.
Now for Landon Hungerford, the All-State selection during his high school days at DeWitt. Who's climbing up in the all-time minutes played list. He's about to pass, if he hasn't already, Ty Uziak for 3rd on the list. As Uziak has departed from Lansing, he's now playing his soccer over the summer at Midwest United. Now for Kalovitz, left forward for Hungerford, one-on-one with Kleffiker. Heavy touch, 50-50 there, won by Albert. Strong challenge from the young man on a yellow card. Now Barbieri took down Antcliffe. It's a foul nonetheless. Barbieri just a shade too late after that one. He also has to be careful, as he's on a yellow card, and I'm sure that's what the center official is telling him about.
Not before he wagged his finger in the face of Tierno Decore, though.
Looks as though Antcliffe will just shake it off as he'll receive this pass from Beck along the far wing.
Cam, I'm starting to wonder if you lost a bet and are attempting to inject as many Taylor Swift song references into this broadcast as you can.
The whole point is to not have it be noticeable. And you just...
My apologies, brother.
And I will give a shout out to a few of the people in the audience. As Luca Maloney, if you're watching, there is a kid with a absolutely gorgeous Galatasaray kit sitting right in front of me. So Luca, if you are listening or watching.
Little too close to the booth to get it on camera, unfortunately.
Just a little close. We'll have him go out on midfield. His fellow first-year intern, Grace Burke, is also in attendance, along with friend of the program, Lauren Kinley, who had their services used this afternoon running the concession stand as this ball rolls out for a Lansing Common throw. Now for Kevin Payne as the Robins, who took their first lead of the match just 3 minutes into the second half. And a late equalizing goal by Amayoko. Has knotted things at 3 apiece as a substitution will be made by the Robins. As Amir Shatia looks to be making his way onto the pitch momentarily. Hungerford along the near wing. Now Kalovitz. Had it deflect off him. Instead, it rolls in inside the 18, looking for Voigt. Ushered out by Keaton Albert.
Looks like Shatia is going to come in for Luke Kalovitz. This is not a reflection of Kalovitz's quality or play on the day today, Cam, but more a reflection of the fact that the Robins have absolutely been owning Fort Wayne on the flanks. Those fullbacks are awfully vulnerable, but it's been a long season and a long weekend for Lansing Common, and some fresh legs on the left and maybe on the right soon. Not a bad thing at all. Probably going to open up even more space as the Robins look to continue to attack, push a 4th goal, a game winner across here in the final 30 minutes.
It looks as though there might be another substitution for Brent Sorg as Ali Ahmad putting on his game jersey as we get this corner kick from Shirali. Low, pass 2, back! Deflected out by Klefiker. Headed back in the mix looking for Decore, instead sent out by Rodriguez for another Lansing throw as we'll get that first of at least 2 substitutions. Luke Kalovitz's day is done. Samir Shatia will make his 8th appearance for the Robins. It's Kalovitz's 10th start of the season. He'll escape this one without getting on the score sheet. Now brought forward by Tom, looking for the run of Amayoko, instead dispelled by Jack Lockerbie.
Lockerbie with great positioning there to extinguish the threat quickly. Now Shatia showing why he's checked into the game.
Shatia looking interior, had a man going forward. Voigt was there. Instead sent out for a Lansing throw, and I believe, if I'm correct, this is the first time the all 3 Jack lineup is in. Lockerbie, Voigt, and back. All sent up for the Michigan State Spartan, trying to work around Zach Tom, who got the better of Beck. Now Amayoko.
Looked like the ref signaled for advantage, meaning foul on Lansing Common in that exchange.
Instead, we play on as it rolls back in on Morera.
Great little bit of defending by Mooney there.
Now Shirali taken down from behind. Harding.
Is the card out again, Cam? It is.
And another yellow card issued to Fort Wayne. This one looks to be on the halftime substitute, Nick Harding.
Is that not his second? It is not. We're running out of 1927 soccer club players to show a yellow to, but they still exist apparently.
The 4th yellow card issued to Sport Club. And it is the halftime substitute who garnishes the yellow. The caution given by the referee. There's been a lot of caution given
today. seems to, his grip on this match certainly seems to be loosening.
Beck will line this one up from range. Immediately hits everybody in the wall, never cleared the first man. It's brought out by Rodriguez. Antcliffe, well out of position, sent up for Amayoko. The flag goes up. And that one looked to be a little bit more contentious than the last one. As Amayoko on the wrong side of the line.
The other winger, Jack Voigt, gonna come off as Ali Ahmad is checking into this one.
So that'll end the short but sweet 5-minute spell of the Triple Jack lineup. Jack Voigt, who's who leveled things up at 2 apiece with a sitter from inside the 6-yard box. With that 1 goal in 65 minutes played, he deserves a much-needed break after this weekend with the 2 matches in 3 days.
Looking ahead to next weekend, Cam, regardless of the result this afternoon, Lansing welcomes our old frenemies down the road at Livonia. Always a fun game and usually goes our way. So really looking forward to welcoming Livonia in. Like I said, a lot of fun, a lot of respect for those guys. Really appreciate everything they put into helping run this league and running their side with class as well. As a yellow is shown to Munir Shirali for being on the wrong end of a 50-50 there.
So Shirali now into the pocketbook of the referee as he took down Zach Tom.
Maybe I shouldn't give anyone compliments on this broadcast, Cam. It seems like every time I do that, bad things happen.
8 yellow cards in total for this setter official. 4 on Fort Wayne, all field players. 3 on field players for Lansing Common, and a yellow to Coach Brett Sorg as the one-hopper rolls in on Clark.
Ooh, that was a, not sure if that was an attempt at a shot on frame, but that was a nicely taken set piece.
Now in the middle of the pitch for Decore. Back to Jack Lockerbie. And if results hold, it will come down, as we said earlier, to the final day, next Sunday, as Fort Wayne takes on United West. In a game that would decide who comes here in 2 weeks to play for the Great Lakes Championship. Now Antcliffe. Ali Ahmad. Deflected by Saldana. Sent forward for Amayoko. Too far for him. Instead reaches the feet of Hungerford.
Really nice bit of defending by Lando. Turns it around, finds Mooney.
Another substitution on the touchline for Lansing Common. Daniel Silva's number is being fixated on to the scoreboard. It's Jack Beck looking to insert Silva into the match a little prematurely. We're going to whistle for the hydration break. The second one today is center official whistling for that. The change for Daniel Silva. It looks to be Jack Beck's excuse me, number on the board. We'll get that substitution after the hydration break, but it's been a contested affair here today as Max Amayoko's second half brace has tied things up at 3. And though Fort Wayne does not need all 3 points today, they cannot spare to lose this match if they want to come back to Lansing in 2 weeks. And Josh, knowing that as Lansing Common's season is over, they're playing for nothing but pride at the moment, as this club has never finished below second place, or at least tied for it in the Midwest Premier League. What do both teams need to do to find that elusive 4th goal?
Well, for Lansing, I think you did see a pretty major change both to the lineup and to the formation at halftime. That was not a reflection, again, though, on the quality that they've shown. They've been on the front foot. They've possessed the hell out of the ball. And they have just shown a real tendency to press and press and press and put pressure on their opponents from 1927 SC. And so more of the same, I would say, and then more consistency out of Lansing. And then for Fort Wayne, it seems like their best chances have come on the counter. And so continue to wait around for those and be dangerous and be consistent when they occur.
As we will get that substitution. Silva in for Beck, as it's everybody's favorite Robin. Daniel Silva, who makes his now 17th appearance all-time as Robin. Still searching for his second goal with the club. Ahmad entangled with Harding along the far side. Another foul committed by the Robins. Silva recently in.
And there it is. There it is. Just as we said about 10 minutes ago, the referee could not let us leave Eastern Stadium today without stepping up and doing his best to decide this match. Cannot be decided by the teams on the field. The referee says, Tierno Decore, your day is done. And for the 4th time this year, after one in their first 2 years of club history, a Lansing Common player's day is ended early with a red card.
As Tierno Decore's day is done, he got the nod after the suspension to Ben Derby. The second yellow means Decore will not be able to play in the season finale against Livonia.
And you got to wonder, Cam, where the consistency is, because on those little clips like that, all day long, the ref has been either letting them play on or calling just the straight regular foul. This one, unfortunately, turns into a second yellow for Decore.
And standing near the touchline is Brent Sorg. He's giving a stern look to the center official as
of course the injured player makes a miraculous recovery now that Decore is on the sideline. His day is over. He heads to the locker room.
As Jose Rodriguez looks to be okay after that challenge from young Tierno Decore. Rodriguez played in. Payne there first. Ahmad couldn't deal with it, instead turned back over to 1927. Is for the final 18 minutes in stoppage time. Lansing will play with 10 men as the flag goes up. Barbieri offside. Played quickly by Clark. Shatia, lovely bit of footwork from him. Now Russ. Back to Amir Shatia. Able to work around the defender. Tried to go interior for Shirali. Instead turned over. Brought forward by Michael Saldana. Now Max Amayoko. Played forward looking for Barbieri. Once again, the flag goes up along the near side. As Barbieri could not time his run before putting himself in an offside position. Now for Jack Lockerbie. And back to Holden Clark.
Cam, I know I said 15 minutes ago that I thought the refs were going to decide this one, but if I had really believed that, I would have brought beer or something.
The universe loves proving you right in this broadcast.
Just a laugher of a season for the referees this year. 1/3 of Lansing Commons League games decided by a red card.
Shatia won't get there on the end of a pass. Instead, commits the foul in the process. Thought he got on the right side of Klefiker. Instead, results in a foul. As now Nathan Clark and Brent Sorg were, for the moment, at the edge of the technical area. Played along the far side for Harding. Antcliffe dispossessed there by Harding, and another clip on Silva, lost possession. Now for Zach Tom. In the middle of the park, has Emayoko, can't use him as he's surrounded by red jerseys. Deflected out to Emayoko. Back out looking for Harding, it results in a throw-in. So we approach the final quarter of an hour here in mid-Michigan. Looking forward for Russ, able to get around Zach Tom as he's swarmed by jerseys in white. Played forward along the near side, Shatia has Hungerford in support. He'll play him forward along the near side. Still Hungerford.
You know, Cam, the thing about having red cards shown to you in 4 of your games is the Robins comfortable playing with 10 men now as they remain on the front foot, continue to dominate possession and
this one will be another yellow card as Ahmad will enter in the referee's pocketbook. Six yellow cards now for Lansing Common, including the one to Brent Sorg. Brings our total up to at least 9 cards in this game. And as the cards and goals have piled up, so too will the second half stoppage time. Place your bets now on exactly how many minutes you think it'll be.
I'd say, Cam, the refs are as ready for a beer as you and I are. Probably not a lot. Very little relationship between the play on the field and the stoppage time at the end of the game as Seth Russ begs his teammates to get up and press with him.
Almost a turnover there for Fort Wayne. Instead, Shatia tried to get on the end of it. It's deflected off of a boot out for a Lansing throw as Lansing trying to turn on the pressure. The next goal may just be the last one and the deciding one as a substitution on the way for Fort Wayne. Instead, ball played back in for Lockerbie. Back to Holden Clark. As Barbieri in on the forecheck for Fort Wayne, it causes a turnover as Shirali couldn't corral it. We'll get that substitution. Casey Zimmerman's day is done. It'll be Jarek Aguilar.
And as we were saying earlier, Cam, we've said probably too many times Lansing with nothing to play for. That's of course not true, as they've got positioning in the table, a lot of pride on the line as well, and can't say enough good things about this Lansing Common side, who has continued to fight hard in all 4 of the games that have had red cards shown to them this year, and since throughout the day today, as you know, our chances at a league title may be over, maybe 0, but the boys not playing like that at all, and not playing like they're down a man. You would not know unless you counted one by one which side is on the wrong side of the red card today, as they continue to dominate possession and generate the majority of danger.
The Robins in the previous 3 games with red cards have failed to win a match. 2 draws and a loss, including the one, that 3-1 loss to Michigan Stars in June. The 2 draws the first game against Futsal Factory, a 1-1 draw, and then last on Friday, a great effort there on the challenge by Antcliffe.
Wonderful tackle by Aiden. Surprised the ref agreed. As Vic Toon prepares to check into the game. I would guess for Aiden, but could be for Landon as well. As he points it out for the 4th official, who's
Clark able to punch it out. It'll find Harding atop the 18. Now for the far side, looking back interior, Hungerford got there first. Laid up. Slicing the shot was Jarek Aguilar. As Clark will play it quickly along the near side. Tried to get it to Shatia, instead intercepted by Aguilar. Now Amayoko. Looking for Barbieri. Kevin Payne able to get on the right side of him. He'll send it out for a throw.
My guess was wrong, Cam. Vic is going to be coming in for Munir Shirali, who is going to give the captain's armband to Kevin Payne as he checks out.
It'll be tune for Shirali, as Munir Shirali has played lots of minutes in the past 2 days. He'll exit this one with a yellow card and a goal as well. It's Victor Toon, the Spring Arbor product, will make his now 8th appearance for the club. This season already has 2 goals. He's a hometown product, played high school soccer at DeWitt High School, about 20 minutes up the road. We'll restart things with Max Amayoko. Now to the recently subbed in Toon, couldn't get on the edge of a pass from Silva. So we've approached the final 10 minutes here in regular time. Robbins able to intercept it. Russ brought forward, got taken aback by Zach Tom.
Seth playing 1-on-4 and almost able to break out with the ball. Unfortunately dispossessed by the final man he had to beat. Continuing to play in the high press, apply a lot of pressure to this 1927 side.
Now Igor Barbieri waiting for runners. Spots Aguilar, and Payne was there first to dispel the danger. Shatia tried to go in, a late challenge from him. Play on, says the referee. Russ is going forward now, 1-on-2. Has Toon in support. Still Seth Russ. Herrera able to get there first. Some more contention on the sideline.
The center back had his hips completely turned the wrong way. I thought if Russ had turned it back onto his right foot, he would have been wide open with a good angle, but he wanted to take that shot with his left.
It's the 4th official getting a talking to from the bench boss for Fort Wayne after that late challenge from Shatia that resulted in that half chance for the Robins.
Cam, that was just simultaneous bad decision making from players on both sides who both went in for a slide tackle at the same time. Boot met boot. Nobody found the ball. I don't know how you could remotely consider showing a foul there.
Now Shatia able to dispossess Barbieri. Joshua Rosendale will head to the 4th official. He'll be the next substitute for Lansing Common. Now Ali Ahmad. Hungerford. Russ couldn't get on the right side of Kleffiker. Instead, it's now Fort Wayne pushing the ante. Tom has the run of Harding along the far side. He'll enter into the 18.
Wonderful tackle by Aiden. Goodness.
And Antcliffe playing the role of anti-hero on that one. Got on the right side of Harding. So Robbins can reclaim possession.
Aiden had a minor slip up in the first 3 minutes of the game, leading to a goal, and he has just been rock solid ever since.
As that substitution made, Seth Russ will make his way off the pitch. It'll be Joshua Rosendale after Russ got a goal and an assist in this one.
Rosie, a pitch-perfect sub for a chippy game like this one. Unfortunately, coming in at striker as the 10th man in the lineup for Lansing Common, not the 11th, but we'll see if he's got some late-game magic today.
Well, one thing's for certain, he might be the next substitute to get into the pocketbook, as that's been a recurring theme, is
sure.
Substitutes getting the booking. As Josh Rosendale played 74 games for the Comets of now Olivet College?
I believe,
First
Cam,
University
they are
of Olivet?
Olivet University now. For some reason, my brethren, the MIAA, consistently looking for new marketing angles.
Hungerford taken down by Barbieri.
You hate to see that late in the season, as Lando's going to be returning to Niagara in a couple weeks. He seems to be okay, but he's also just a really tough player too. So the referee comes in to deliver another lecture to the home side in red.
And Barbieri, who committed that challenge or committed the foul, that'll result in a start talking to, and we're going to get another card here.
This yellow shown to Lansing Common.
As we await, it looked as though both Saldana and Shatia were going to the center official. The initial foul on Barbieri was a close one because he's already on a caution as well.
Shatia laughing as hard as I am down there.
So it'll be Saldana who gets the yellow.
Okay.
Shatia escapes momentarily. A substitution now made as Barbieri after committing that foul.
Laughing nonetheless is Amir.
His day is done. As Landon Moreland in place of Barbieri. Looking forward for Rosendale, poked free up to Morera.
What a run by Rosie. It just, again, you got to applaud the fight shown by this home side. Playing for pride, playing for second place in the standings, unfortunately at this point, and playing as if they've got 11 men on the field right now.
As things stand, it would come down to the final day. 4 points needed for Fort Wayne if they want to come back here in 2 weeks. A loss effectively ends their title hopes. So we have just 3 minutes remaining plus stoppage time, and it should be a lopsided number as Ahmad turns it over to Emayoki. Emayoko trying to work around Lockerbie. Has Moreland. Found him. The return feed for Emayoko.
Great 1-2 work by Jack Lockerbie and Kevin Payne there. Little touch and go. Did result in a dangerous shot that missed the mark, but Jack did what was necessary to clear the danger there.
Lansing still on the attack after being dropped down to 10 men after the second yellow card showed to Tierno Decore inside the 70th minute. Now Ali Ahmad. Played forward Shatia. Looking back post.
Ooh. Unfortunately, Amir was going with the wind that time, and the ball cleared well wide.
Sent out for another Fort Wayne throw. Payne off the head of Antcliffe on the deflection. Now for Ali Ahmad. Shadowed by Moreland. We'll send it back to Aiden Antcliffe.
Ali, he brings energy to everything he does, including training, but has been really crisp and precise with the passing and with the movements and the decision-making since he's checked in this afternoon.
Looking for Moreland. Deflected back to Zach Tom. He's got one of the 3 Fort Wayne goals. Rodriguez. And back to Kleffiker.
Josh Rosendale providing that pressure and that energy that he's in the game to provide. As we are 30 seconds from a full 90 here at Eastern Stadium. No indication as to extra time yet. 5 minutes, say the officials.
A whopping 5 minutes of stoppage time added on here at the end of this one.
5 minutes and a half with 2 quick goals.
minutes additional stoppage time.
And an insurmountable amount of yellow cards. Antcliff dispossessed. Here comes Zach Tom. The counter is on. Moreland inside the 18, shadowed by Payne. Moreland deflected off Payne and sent back out by Hungerford.
Wonderful clearance by Lando with his dominant right foot.
Played perfectly by Kevin Payne to negate any danger from the visitors. Played forward for Emayoko. The flag once again up along the near side.
Flag, and then if that hadn't been shown, a handball would have been forthcoming, although those have not been called the couple times that they've occurred this afternoon.
So we are into the first minute here of the minimum 5 minutes of stoppage time. The Robins trying to play the role of spoiler. Stoon couldn't get on the end of that clearance from Clark. So here comes Zach Tom now for Fort Wayne.
Yeah, and the heavy legs are starting to show a little bit for the home side, unfortunately, as the doubleheader combined with maybe the air quality and, of course, with the extra man that Fort Wayne has, maybe starting to reveal itself in possession as Rosie continues to fight.
A lovely bit of effort there from Antcliff to get that ball away from Moreland. It's now Fort Wayne with it in possession, with just 3.5 minutes remaining in this one. Tom, unable to skip past Ahmad. Shatia with a pick play. Tom still down on the ground.
Two 1927 players taking a dive as if it's possible to be fouled by the player with the ball. Quickly get up as possession turns over to their side.
Now back along the far wing for Foshi.
And I don't fault this Fort Wayne side. I think they got a lot of quality, and they've played a great game with a lot of spirit and a lot of heart this afternoon. They're just playing it exactly.
Clark out of position. Emayoko couldn't tap it in. Payne was there. Sent back in the box. Moreland got it all wrong. And a goal line clearance from Kevin Payne.
Saved a hat trick there as well. Goodness.
As Emayoko once again rode the back line of Lansing Common, was in onside. Just couldn't get the finish as Clark did just enough to negate his clear path to victory.
We've seen a lot of goal line clearances this year at Eastern Stadium, Cam, but that was probably the most impressive one.
Silva couldn't get there in front of Aguilar. As Fort Wayne resumes possession with just 2 minutes left in this one. Max Emayoko. Now along the far side, Foshi. And the halfway line, Albert. Rosendale tried to get there first and sent back in by Foshi. Caught his netminder Pedro Moreira.
Just about a spectacular own goal from 50 yards out by Fort Wayne.
Would have been a stupendous strike from Foshi.
It certainly was.
Hungerford.
Put his keeper under a fair amount of stress.
Played back for Clark. Silva battling with Zach Tom. Now to Emayoko. Deflected back out for Saldana. Saldana unable to get past Hungerford. It'll take a deflection off of Saldana and go out for Lansing Common throw, or a goal kick, as a yellow card shown to Shatia. Make that another substitute who gets a yellow card. This one for that challenge about 5 minutes ago. The referee wound back the tape.
About 40 seconds left in this one as Clarkey lines up for the goal kick here. And Fort Wayne lining up a substitution.
Zach Tom, who's on a yellow card, got a goal as well in his 93 minutes of play. As Braden Macy will make his way onto the pitch.
AR seems to be chuckling a bit as he explains Amir Shatia's yellow to Brent Sorg.
Well, if Amir Shatia was a basketball player, it would have been a beautiful pick play. As Antcliffe involved with Moreland along the far side, or excuse me, Harding.
Those are technically illegal, Cam, but the amount of times that you see them called, let alone a yellow shown for that, is rare.
As we've hit the final 5 minutes here at Eastern Stadium, it stays as a draw. Fort Wayne got things started early, but the Robins came fighting back. They took the lead early in the second half, but Max Emayoko's brace knotted things up at 3. That's where we stand after 90 plus 5 additional minutes as it ends here 3-3. Before we go, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. From our production manager, Scott Oberlander, I'm alongside Josh Pugh, who thank you for making your gracious appearance back onto this broadcast. I'm Cameron McLaren saying we'll see you here next Saturday.
Thank you, folks.